magbabasa sa ating lugar sa Old Testament, 2 Kings chapter number 4. We're still learning about motherhood. And so this afternoon, I'd like to invite you to go to the book of 2 Kings chapter 4 at simulan natin sa verse 25. Actually, two verses, 25 and 26. Tayo po ay tumayo lahat so that we can read our place and then ask the Lord to bless this message. 2 Kings chapter 4, beginning from verse number 25. So she went and came unto the man of God to Mount Carmel. And it came to pass, when the man of God saw her afar off, that he said to Gehazi, his servant, Behold, yonder is the Shunammite. Run now, I pray thee, to meet her, and say unto her, Is it well with thee? Is it well with thy husband? Is it well with the child? And she answered, It is well. So ating pong pag-aaralan ang lugar na ito, mamaya subukan nating tingnan ang background nito. Our title is it Well? Is it Well? Typing manalangin. Father in heaven, we thank you that you have given us the Bible. Ito po ang aklat na nagtuturo sa amin paano kami mamuhay. And this afternoon, this day, we had been talking about motherhood and the importance of moms. We pray that you will use the message to bless our hearts. Tulungan mo kami na magtiwala sa iyo even though emergencies do come and trials do come. But help us, Lord, to exercise our faith in Christ, knowing na in a lot of things na wala kaming magagawa, the only thing we can do is place them in your hands and to trust you sa mga pangailangan at mga pagsubok na meron kami. And so, samahan mo kami sa aming pag-aaral at ikaw po ang siyang maging tagapagturo namin at ito po ang aming samadalangin sa pangalan ni Jesus. Amen. Salamat po. You may be seated. Okay, so we read a portion of the chapter in verse 25 and 26. But let's go back to the beginning. Ano ba ang nangyayari dito sa chapter 4? Well, we will not read verses 1 to 7 because that's a different story. In verse number 8, ang sabi, And it fell on that day that Elisha passed to Shunem, where was a great woman. And she constrained him to eat bread. And so it was that as oft as he passed by, he turned in thither to eat bread. And she said unto her husband, Behold, now I perceive that this is an holy man of God, which passeth by us continually. Okay, so I tried to look for a phrase na kagaya nito, a great woman. Wala ko nakita. This is the only place in the Bible where you find the phrase, a great woman. And probably she was really a great woman because of her faith. Ngayong hapon, medyo nakita na yung faith nitong mother. And what was happening here, si Elisha would come to Shunem. Shunem is a place he would regularly visit as a prophet. You know, mga prophet, unlike today, if you're in the Vatican, you'll just stay in the Vatican, period. Wala na, ando ka na. But in the olden days, the prophet would go around and visit people like a circuit judge. Parang siya yung nakakaalam ng buong bayan, siya ang tinatanong ng mga tao and everything. So, there was a great woman na ang ginagawa niya when she sees the prophet, ini-invite niya yung prophet, Oy, tuloy po kayo. At na-perceive niya in verse 9 that this is a holy man. That this prophet, which is Elisha, is a holy man. So, pinapakain niya. So again, this is the only time in the Bible we find the great woman. Tinitingnan niya yung prophet, parating dumadaan yung prophet. And so, una, we find that para sabihin na holy man, Elisha must have been really a great man of God, no? Yan naman ang maganda sana, no, sa pag nakita natin yung mga lingkod ng Diyos, sana naisip natin na ito yung mga tao na, worthy of people's honor and, wala namang perfect na pastor o ano man. Even the prophets are not perfect. But hindi niya pinabayaan yung prophet. Ang ginawa, inalagaan niya yung prophet. And so in verse 10, ang sabi nung wife, sabi niya sa husband, let us make a little chamber, I pray thee, on the wall. And let us set for him there a bed, table, a stool, and a candlestick. And it shall be, when he cometh to us, that he shall turn in hither. Now, one thing you will observe, sabi nung wife doon sa husband, alam mo, kakaawa naman yung prophet. Gumawa tayo ng chamber. And this is where we get yung pangalan natin. Ang tawag natin dito sa second floor, prophet's chamber. Yung prophet's chamber is where we invite the missionaries and the pastors to stay when they are in Lucena. So naglagay sila ng chamber and she asked the husband. Now, something na dapat nating mapansin, hindi siya dumiskarte ng kanya. Minsan kaya nagkakaproblema sa tahanan kasi hindi ba open ang communication. Now, this great woman, hindi siya basta, okay, itong gusto kong gawin, ito gagawin ko. Hindi. Alam siya kay husband. Ito ang gagawin natin. Even though later on we find that this husband is an good husband. Pero yun ang ginawa niya. At pumayag naman. So naglagay sila ng ngayon, simple things. A table, a candlestick, a bed. Simple lang naman eh. Alam mo minsan, yung mga missionary, konti, ano lang naman yan eh. Hindi naman yan require ng maraming kagastusan. Pero when they come around, asikasuhin natin, at least give them a place to stay. Ayun naman ang ginawa dyan. So, verse 11, so ang sabi dito sa verse 11, and it fell on that day that he came thither and he turned into the chamber and lay there. Ayun, ginamit na ng prophet. And he said to Gehazi, his servant, call this Shunammite. And when he had called her, she stood before him, and he said unto him, say now unto her, behold, thou hast been careful for us with all this care. What is to be done for thee? Wouldest thou be spoken for to the king, or to the captain of the host? And he answered, I dwell among mine own people. And he said, what then is to be done for her? Now, itong babae, itong babae na to, sabi ni Elisha, I'd like to do you a favor because you've been so kind. Gusto mo ba gusto mo trabaho sa Jerusalem? Do you have anything that you need from the king? At ang sabi ng babae, wala. Sabi niya, wala akong kailangan. Maybe a job in Jerusalem, a good salary. Sabihin mo lang. And the good thing about this woman is that she wanted no favor. I guess ang nagpapakita dyan that she is content. Alam niyo, mga kapatid, ganito yan eh. Minsan, maganda rin yung katangian na kung hindi mo naman kailangan yung tulong, wag mo lang kunin. Sometimes we are too practical. Kapag may magbibigay ng tulong, akin na. But sometimes, hindi naman natin kailangan eh. Lalo pag election, daming, pati yung ayuda, party list na rin eh. Mga tao ata gusto parating may tulong eh. Pero alam mo, na-appreciate ko itong babae, na sabi niya, ano kailangan mo from the king? If you need anything? Ang sabi niya, no, okay na ako. And hindi ko alam kung mayaman tong babae because she was able to extend the house to accommodate another room for the prophet. So maaari namang may kakayanan. But may kakayanan, wala namang problema. I mean, marami na, sa inyo na lang. Pero minsan dapat tularin natin yung babae. She was content may nagbibigay ng tulong, hindi na lang, okay na kami. Maganda rin yung ganon. Hindi lahat ng tulong ay tanggapin natin. Kasi lalo't kung ang kapalit ay compromise, Halimbawa, lalo pag election, o ito, ayuda, pero ito, iboto nyo. Hindi naman tayo pa. Pero sabi naman ng iba, hindi, tanggapin nyo kasi yan naman talaga buwis ng tao. Ay tama. Well, I guess that's true. Pero I like what the woman said. Parang hindi ko na kailangan ng tulong. Now, sabi ni Gehazi, in verse 14, you know what, prophet, I know that this woman, yung asawa niya, they're old people, and they do not have a child. Why not maybe ask the Lord to give them a child? So yan ang nangyari. Because the Gehazi kind of heard that they were praying for a child. Wala silang anak. So, verse 15, and he said, call her, and when he had called her, she stood in the door. And he said, about this season, according to the time of life, thou shalt embrace a son. Sinabi niya, ikaw ay bibigyan ng Diyos ng anak. And this is the prophet talking. And he said, nay, my Lord, thou man of God, do not lie unto thine handmaid. Parang, wag mo, baka naman scam, wag mo nang paasahin kasi tagal na kami nagpe-pray. Parang para bagang medyo masakit walang anak, you've tried, pero wala. Tapos suddenly you're saying, magkakaroon ka ng anak, just from nowhere, magkakaroon ka ng anak. So sabi niya, wag namang wag kang magsinungaling. 17, and the woman conceived and bare a son at that season, that Elisha had said unto her, according to the time of life. So sometimes ang Panginoon, when you are good to other people, hayaan mo ibalik ng Panginoon sa'yo. Kasi ganun ang Panginoon. Alam mo, yan ang maganda sa Panginoon. Wala man nakakaalam ng mga ginagawa mo, but somebody does. And in the right time, yung mga pangailangan mo, tutugunin. Alam mo, maganda, wag lang tayo masyadong parang, akin na. May tulong, akin na. Di ba? Hindi siya ganun eh. And so, ang ginawa ng prophet, he prayed for the couple to have a child, and the Lord gave a son. Now, yung lalaki ka, mas mahalaga ba? Kasi between the son, giving you a son or a daughter, yung son mas matibay, mas matibay. That's why during the time of Moses, they were killing the babies. I think male babies ata lang eh. So pinapatay nila, di ba, yung mga bata. And so look at verse number 18. And when the child was grown, it fell on a day that he went out his father to the reapers. And he said unto his father, my head. And he said to a lad, carry him to his mother. And when he had taken him and brought him to his mother, he sat on her knees till noon, and he died. Sometimes you have to enjoy. Di ba? Hindi siguro madali. Nagkaroon ka ng anak, kinuha ng Panginoon, and then, ganun lang kabilis. And so what happened, when the child was like maybe 6 to 8 years old, he went to the fields kasi they were reaping. Harvest season they were reaping. And during harvest season, he went to the father, and it was hot. Probably he had a heat stroke. Alam niyo yung init natin? Hindi biro. Hindi biro yung init na yan. It can kill you. I'm sure may mga sa ibang bansa, because hindi sila sanay. Alam mo, sa Amerika, ganyan. Na heat stroke. Kasi sila sanay sa init. Tayo pa, medyo sanay pa. Pero yung bata namatay. Probably heat stroke. And in other words, namatay sa kamay sa arms ng nanay. And hindi pa to, batang hindi pa masyadong nilang, lumalak. Siguro bata pa to eh. And ang ginawa nung nanay, basahin natin para makuha natin. 21, and she went up and laid him on the bed of the man of God. Remember there was a chamber? So sabi nung nanay, why don't we bring him to the bed of the prophet? So nilagay doon, and shut the door upon him and went out. And she called unto her husband and said, send me, I pray thee, one of the young men and one of the asses, that I may run to the man of God and come again. So sabi nung wife sa kanyang husband, babe, pahiram ng one donkey and one servant, and we will look for Elisha in Jerusalem because he's there somewhere in Mount Carmel. So, ito namang husband, ito mo sabi ng husband, verse 23, and he said, wherefore wilt thou go to him today? Sabi niya, ba't ka pupunta doon? Di naman linggo. That prophet, he comes around the town. Why don't you just wait for the prophet to come around? Mag-aksak ba? In other words, hindi naman linggo. Ngayon Martes. Kaaksaya ka ng di ba? Ganun, parang ganun sasabi niya eh. In other words, he doesn't care about the son being dead. Pag ang asawa mo ganyan, talagang sarap pa, So, the son was dead, and hinilagay niya sa higaan ng prophet, and asked the husband, bigyan mo ko ng servant. And so she went, pero nabigyan naman siya. So she went with the servant to find Elisha 30 miles away. Of course, wala namang tricycle, wala namang. So they had some donkeys. Pero nakasakay ka sa donkey, 30 miles. So looking for a person, looking for the prophet. And in verse 24, and she saddled an ass and said to her servant, drive and go forward. Slack not thy riding for me, except I bid thee. In other words, bilisan mo ang pagpapatakbo nitong donkey. So she went and came unto the man of God to Mount Carmel, and it came to pass when the man of God saw her afar off. Sabi ni Elisha, nakita niya, teka, this is the Shunammite. Servant, you go and meet the woman and ask her, is it well? Is it well with you? Is it well with the husband? Is it well with the child? And in all three questions, ang sagot nung nanay, it is well. Okay, so that's our lesson ngayong hapon. But later on, itong bata, gumaling. Gumaling yung bata, and so, sometimes in the middle of a miracle, may mga katanungan tayo dapat sabihin. At this is good for mothers. Sa panahon na may mga itong parang emergency, this is death. Mga kahirapan sa buhay, mga pinagdaraanan. So, is it well with you? Now, she said, yes, it is well. Now, why did she say that? Now, really, she was not well. Sino ba naman, in fact, tanungin mo yung nanay na namatay ng anak, okay ka ba? Hindi ako okay. Namatay yung anak ko eh. Now, why? So, I was reading some of the, sabi nila, she lied. Sabi na, but I agree with the others. Sabi nila, hindi, she really felt well because, pag meron tayong mga ganitong problema, dalhin mo sa Panginoon, ilagay mo sa kamay ng Diyos, wala ka nang magagawa, then you can say it is well. Kasi alam mo, lalo sa mga nanay, last night when I was writing the message na ginawa this morning, naisip ko talaga, napakalaki ng sakripisyo. Hindi natin na-appreciate ang mga nanay natin. Ako, naisip ko nanay ko, malaki rin ang sakripisyo. Malaking gastos, malaking pagtitiis, talagang malaki. Hindi natin na-appreciate, no? Now, is it well? Well, look at verse 27. Sabi niya, it is well, 26. But 27, look at this. And when she came to the man of God, to the hill, hinanap niya, di ba? O pagdating niya kay Elisha, she caught him by the feet. But Gehazi came near to thrust away, and the man of God said, Pabayaan mo siya, for her soul is vexed within her. You know what the word vexed means? Bitter. Masama ang kanyang, ang kanyang, may dinadala siyang mabigat. Therefore, you know that she's hurting. And anyone who would lose a child like this would be hurting talaga. Hindi yun exaggeration. Namatayan ka ng anak, talagang masasaktan ka. So the truth is, not all is well. And I think the reason she said it is well is because she was trusting God. Ano bang gagawin mo? Diba? Pag may trahedya sa buhay mo, ano gagawin mo? It is not well until the rapture? No, at some point, sabi naman ng iba, hindi, siguro ganito yan. Because it was Gehazi asking the woman. Nagtanong ka, Brad, kumusta ka? Okay naman, pero hindi ka naman okay talaga. But the way, syempre, ganun yun eh. It's okay. My point is this, sometimes mga nanay, you're not okay. But you try to be okay, and that is good. Maganda yan, kasi kung alam lang namin, di ba, ng mga men, how much you carry, how much load you carry, alam namin na a lot of times it is not well with you. Pero, gawat, dinala niya sa prophet, pinagtiwala niya sa Panginoon, Lord, bahala ka na. What did she said? It is well. So ang tanong, is it well with you? Kayo mga nanay, okay ba kayo? Palagi ko, a lot of you would probably say, well, hindi masyado. Maraming pinagdaraanan, maraming pangailangan, maraming babayaran, maraming pagsubok na nararanasan, di ba? And I did not ask, is your career good? Are you making a lot of money? Are you healthy and all? Is the home mortgage fully paid? Hindi naman ganun tanong eh. Ang tanong, ikaw, kumusta ka? Kumusta ka, nanay? Are you okay? And so, pinipilit nating maging okay for the sake of the family. Pero really, a lot of times, hindi okay. Ang maganda rin yan, mga tatay at mga anak, nalalaman nyo ang kalagayan ng inyong mga nanay at ng inyong mga asawa. Hindi madali. Diba? I'm sure hindi madali. Pero napansin nyo sa kwento na to, yung nanay lang talagang gumagawa. Yung husband, wala namang pakialam eh. Alam mo pakialam ng husband? Yung kanyang negosyo. Kasi harvest eh. And later, we'll go to the husband. So, is it well with you? Now, ang tanong ito, sa mga nanay, here's the question for you. Are you a Christian? If you're not a Christian, all is not well. You know why? How can your children become Christians when you are not? You need to find Christ. Kasi kahit sabihin, ay, Pastor, all is well because I am making a lot of money. But is life only about material things? Hindi naman na. In fact, this life is too short. Pag namatay tayo, pag akyat sa langit, o kaya pagpunta sa ilalim ng impyerno, wala nang katapusan yan. Kaya, if you're not a Christian, you need to be saved. So are you saved? Or are you a growing Christian? Dapat kasi tayo mga Kristiyano, nag-grow. Dapat nag-grow. Sa giving nyo, dapat nag-grow kayo. Sa inyong witnessing, dapat nag-grow. Sa inyong patience and honesty and integrity and all of that good things, dapat tayo nag-grow. Because if you're not growing, kayo mga magulang, if you're not growing, how would you expect your children to grow in their faith? Gusto ba mga anak mo, mahal ang Diyos? Of course. But question, do you love the Lord yourself? Is it all well with your love for God? Alam mo, maganda rin tanongin yan eh. O, kumusta ka? Kumusta ang iyong relasyon sa Panginoon? You know, maybe when you were younger, you were active in church. Gano'n naman, marami, di ba? O then ngayon, career ka na, ngayon may family ka na. Marami ng problema and you've been away from God. Not all is well. And what you need to do is, kailangan bumalik. Kailangan bumalik ka. Kung di ka pa saved, you need to know Christ. Because I don't care if you own If you're like King Ahasuerus, he owns the world during the Persian Empire. Pero, when he died, unless the Seva, he went to hell. It's not well with him. Now, pag titignan mo yung mga kayaman, kasi siyang hari, well, all seems to be well, but don't you think when he goes to bed at night, you think he had a clear conscience? Dami niyang pinataya? No, of course not. So, that's why maybe you have disappointments in life and you ask the Lord, Lord, why? Why me? Why now? Bakit ganito ang nangyayari sa akin? And so many of you try to be well because una, you have no option. Pangalawa, because a good reason is because you need to trust the Lord. Kayo mga nanay, wala magawa eh. Magtiwala kayo sa Diyos. Meron kayong kakampi. Kung di nyo kakampi ang husband nyo, kakampi nyo ang Panginoon. Sometimes di nyo kakampi ang husband nyo eh. Like, in this case. And that's why tinanong siya, is it well? Sabi niya, yes, it is well. Bakit? Because I have the Lord. Okay? So, is it well with you? Okay, pangalawa. Is it well with your husband? Kung sa mga asawa niyong lalaki, magagaling yung asawa, kumusta? Galing kumanta dito, ano? Galing kumanta. Oh. Her husband is not well. Sabi niya, it is well. The truth is, the husband is no good. Since the birth of the child, the husband seems to have drifted away from God. Ganun naman yun eh, no? Pag minsan, after the blessing, ay, salamat, Panginoon. They were praying for a child. And God blessed them with a son. Alam mo, sometimes what happens, ay, Panginoon, salamat sa blessing. And then we get busy with business, making money. Walang masama doon ha, trabaho. Sabi ni Paul, if you do not work, don't eat. So, dapat magtrabaho. So, that's okay. Pero this husband, medyo na padami ang trabaho. Kaya niya, and I'm not just saying that, nandito naman sa ating story. This husband became so busy with business, he had no time for the child and the wife. Example, namatay ang anak. You know what he said? Sabi niya, servant, bring to the nanay, bring to the mother. Bay, namatay ang anak mo, hindi kaya ikaw magdala. At sabi pa nung woman, sabi niya, Shunammite woman, sabi niya, husband, give me a servant and a donkey. I need to look for the man of God. Sabi niya, ba't ka pa mag-aabala? Hindi naman linggo ngayon, punta ka doon. Baka wala yun doon. Dadaan naman dito. Tinan mo yung magaling na husband. Ano? Dapat siya nga huwag ka nang mag-abala. Dito ka na sa bahay at ako maghahanap doon sa man of God. Ganun ba siya? Sometimes ang mga husband yung hindi leader. Hindi siya leader eh. Dapat mag-lead siya. Spiritually, wife, let's go to church. Minsan hindi eh. Minsan sabi, husband, let's go to church. Ay, ikaw na lang. Sometimes it is not well. Kaya lang talaga, the reason nagiging well is because, Lord, I'm trusting that my husband will one day get it. He doesn't get it right now. And sometimes sana, kasi alam mo, husband, meron din tayo, alam mo tayo kayo mga husband, dapat may mga seminar din kayo eh. Ano bang role nyo sa bahay? Hindi lang kayo to provide. Marami pa kayong role. To be the protector, to be the priest, to be the etc., etc. So, let's go back. Sabi nung 22, the woman said, I need an ass to bring this to the man of God. 23, and he said, wherefore wilt thou go to him today? It is neither new moon nor Sabbath. And she said, it shall be well. And she said, it shall be well. Sabat ka mag-aabala, hindi naman ngayon linggo o kaya naman piyesta. Ba't ka pupunta ron? Therefore, this husband cannot understand the wife. All the husband is thinking is the harvest. We need to harvest the crops. and make money of the crops, and we need all the donkey and the servant. Pero sige, take that one donkey and servant and go. Sige. Tamo gagano, namatay ang anak. Naghahanap ng solution yung nanay, at itong husband ay walang pakialam. Kontra pa, no? So he's backslidden, busy making a living, he has no time to make a life. And that is a lot of husbands. Alam mo, believe it or not, maraming husband, magaling sila summa cum laude in providing your needs. But sa spiritual, bagsak. In other aspects, bagsak. And mali yon. You need to work on it. Pag-aralan nyo, kaya dapat kayong mag-asawa nag-uusap. Pag-usapan nyo, o anong problema, o ano bang, di ba? Sa mga tatay, you need to take the initiative. Ang role nyo is to discipline the children, train the children, teach them the fear of God. Yan ang dapat ginagawa nyo eh. Ginagawa nyo ba yan? And probably the best thing that you can do, kayo mga husband, the best thing you can do sa inyong tahanan is to simply love your wife. Because when you love your wife, una, it's good influence sa mga anak. Ganun pala dapat. Yung mga sons, they learn from that. Yung mga daughters, they learn from that. Ganun pala yun. Kasi nga, di ba, like mother, like daughter. Ganon din, like dad, like son. Magkano yan eh. At you will influence your children, whether in a good way or a bad way, but you will influence them. Pero mga tata, you need to take an active role. Ito kasi parang walang role eh. So is your husband well? Again, I did not ask how good a job he has, or how many people know him, or how much money he makes. Hindi yun ang tanong eh. Pag sinabing, is it well with your husband? Kumusta ba siya? Number one, again, is he a Christian? Because if he is lost, listen, if you are a Christian and your husband is not, you need to try to win him. Kasi, because if you don't win him, you won't see him again when he dies. Kaya alam mo tayo mga Kristiyano, isang kagalakan natin, na tayo namatay, magkikita-kita ulit tayo. Malungkot. Pero, because of the separation, but, magkikita pa eh. At tayo mamatay, kung kayo na kay Kristo, we'll see you in heaven. Kaya nga, di ba, may awit yung, wala daw goodbyes, walang goodbyes. Mga lang, see you later lang. Pero wala naman talagang goodbyes when you're a Christian. So if he is lost, try to win him. So have you done your best to win your husband? But do your best. Kasi mahalaga yan. Nakalungkot, sometimes and a lot of times, the mother becomes the spiritual leader in the home. You know why? Because the father would not do it. Ayaw nila eh. Either tinatamad, hindi marunong, hindi nila alam. So, you know what happens? The nanay becomes the spiritual leader. She doesn't want to do it. Wala naman siya magagawa. Paano yung mga bata? Paano may kilala ang Panginoon? Kaya alam mo kayo mga tatay, laki ng kayo magpakatatay. And my sadness in my heart is sometimes, yung iba nating kabataan, sometimes wala kayong tatay. And that is really sad. Kasi kailangan nyo eh. Saan kayo kuha ng example? You know, when I analyze my life, ako'y stable because of my parents. My father, even though he was not a Christian when I was growing up, he provided the stability. Para bang, kaya mo yan. Okay lang yan. Sige lang. Ang mami naman, di siyempre, a lot of the, nakakatulong. When you have both parents working together for the betterment of the children, malaking blessing. Kaya kayong mga may kumpletong magulang, magpasalamat kayo. Una sa nanay nyo na ang tiniis. And minsan nalulungkot ako na naririnig ko minsan yung mga ibang mga magulang, yung mga anak ay hindi talaga, you don't treat your parents well. Nalulungkot ako. And sometimes when I deal with it, the parents are nagsasabi, hindi, pastor, hindi, okay lang kami. Okay. If it is well, fine. Pero nalulungkot ako sa ilang instances na hindi ganon. Okay? And then last, is it well with your child? Well, sabi niya, it is well. Really, it is not well. In other words, okay naman. Bakit ba? May Diyos eh. May Diyos. And we trust the Lord with, Diyos ang nagbigay, Diyos ang magbabawi. But the child died. And so it is really not well, except the woman was trusting God with the life of the child. Kaya naman ginawa ng babae, she went to the prophet asking for help, believing that God will help her sa kanyang problema. At ganun din naman kayo mga wives. Wala kayong magawa mga sa asawa nyo, di ba? Wala kayong magawa sa mga anak nyo na hindi naman marunong makinig. Alam mo ang magagawa nyo? Dalhin nyo sa Panginoon. Di ba? Wala naman kayong magagawa. At pag nagawa nyo yan, is it well? Okay na. I mean, magtiwala ka na lang sa Diyos. And so, is the child well? Again, di naman natin tinanong, is the child in school o out of school? Okay naman, pastor, ang mga bata kasi may honor and everything. Again, the question is the child saved? Because if he is not saved, again, hindi mo na makita yan. Sana Kasi alam mo, I believe when little children dies, and they are young, I believe nasa langit yan. Pero pag malaki na yan, kaya na niya mag-decide ng manampalataya, ay dapat mag-decide siya ng kanya. No? Pero pag yung mga, alam mo, yung mga 5 years old, 4 itong batang ito, hindi ko alam, probably 6 to 8, I'm just guessing, namatay yung bata eh. And you know what? One day your children will die. Ang tanong, are they saved? And that's why, dapat ituro nyo yan sa mga bata. Ito ang malungkot. Tinuro nyo lahat ng subject, from math to science. Tinuruan nyo sila mag-memorize ng mga kung ano-ano verses, pero hindi nyo naturo yung pinakamahalaga, paano makakarating sa langit pag namatay. Alam mo, sometimes kayo, again, sabi ko kanina mga guy, di ba, mga nanay, kung kayo makakapag-lead sa inyong anak, what a privilege. Ang dami ko ding alam na ganyan sa Ohio, sa New Jersey, mga kasama namin, yung mga magulang nag-akay sa kanilang mga anak. If your children are not yet saved, kayo, alam mo ang number 1 panalangin, pag-pray nyo. At huwag niyong kalimutan, tinuro nyo na lahat ng bagay, nakalimutan nyo ituro si Kristo. Because if you had failed to teach about Christ, you would have failed in the most important topic na dapat niyang matutunan. So the question is itong tanong, are all the children saved? Are all in? All in na ba? Okay na ba lahat? Are they, at sabi ko, Pastor, okay na lahat. Na-save na lahat ng mga bata. Okay, are they serving God? Is it well with your child? Do they serve God faithfully? Alam mo, yan naman ang goal sa buhay. Hindi ba, minsan ang goal natin, naku, anak, ikaw ay maghahanap buhay at, earn a lot of money and wala na masama against sa hanap buhay. Pero sana, wag natin kalimutan yung mga spiritual aspect ng mga bata. And minsan, paisipin mo mga nanay, sometimes they have to deal with may problema sa asawa, hindi talaga, minsan hindi Kristiyano, magsisimba, hahadlangan pa yung misis. Nakalungkot, di ba? Iba sa inyo, hindi nyo nararanasan yan. Pero ako bilang pastor, alam ko may mga ganyan situation. Nagsisimba yung asawa, bipigilan ng husband, nagsimba kaninang umaga, ay lalampas ka sa langit. Ganun ba yan? Meron bang lampas sa langit? I mean, pero that's the way eh. Kaya minsan ang mga nanay, talaga naman ang pinagtitiis. So, in this story, let me close. The mother went to bring her son to the man of God. Mga kapatid, yun lang ang magagawa nyo. Kayong mga nanay, mga anak nyo siguro hindi pa save or kaya walang pakialam sa Panginoon. Dali nyo sa Panginoon. Yan ang magagawa nyo eh. Hindi nyo naman yan, and of course, you need to be a good example to your children. Gusto nyo mapalapit ang Panginoon sa anak nyo. Kayo naman, ayaw nyo mapalapit sa Diyos. Paano ba ito? Anong kokopyahin ng mga bata kung ikaw naman ay hindi magandang halimbawa? But the woman was trusting the prophet and the man of God. God can restore my child. And so, ang aking apila, kapag may problema ka sa iyong sarili, ang dami mong burden, you're juggling a lot of things, yung husband mo, problema pa rin. Yung mga anak mo, problema pa rin. Anong gagawin mo? Faith. Itiwala mo sa Panginoon, ipanalangin mo sila, and ask that God would help you. So bring it to God. Ginawa ng babae, dinala niya kay Elisha. And Elisha brought the life back to the child. Tignan mo yan, ha? That was a miracle. I mean, miracle talaga eh. Nang una, sabi ni Elisha kay Gehazi, put this rod or staff, ilagay mo sa bata. So nilagay. Hindi na buhay. You know what the prophet did? Nakahiga yung bata. Kung ano ba, nakaganyan. Okay, nakaganyan. Nilapatan niya yung bata. Uminit ang katawan at nabuhay. Naghatching pa ng 7 beses. Nabuhay ang bata. You know, I think ano bang kahalaga na when they put a staff, verse 29, a staff upon the head of the child, so, ganito yan. When we go out and witness to people, yung mechanical way will not get it. You have to be personal with people. Diba rin, ito, bisita, basahin mo yung gospel tract, sana ma-save ka. At marami pa akong gagawin, pupuntahan dito sa community. Bahala ka na dyan. Hindi ganun ang salvation eh. Bigyan mo ng paraan, tas okay na yan? Hindi. Sometimes, kung gusto mong bigyan ng buhay ang tao, kailangan lalapatan mo ng, ano sabi dyan, mata sa mata, ilong sa ilong, talagang nilapatan niya eh. Kaya yung katawan uminit, at ang bata ay umupo at naglakad. Well, the child is a picture of a promise. God, ito tanda natin, yung bata, pinangako, ang Diyos, powerful, and the help is present. Promise, powerful, present. Meron kang anak, pinangako ng Diyos, dali mo sa Panginoon who is powerful because His help is ever present. That is why kayong mga nanay, do not give up. Kasi ang Diyos ay hindi na-give up. Huwag kayong sumuko. Ang Diyos ay hindi marunong sumuko. Place your problems into the hands of God. God can help your husbands. God can help your sons. Kahit yan ay naglayas, hindi mo na maintindihan. John Newton is a good example. John Newton, nagmumura pa. He was the captain of the ship bringing the slaves to the west to sell all these black slaves. Ano nangyari? Save. Sumulat pa ng awit, Amazing Grace. Kaya alam nyo, walang tao na mahirap sa biyaya ng Diyos. Kaya kung meron tayong mga ganyang mga sitwasyon, dalhin mo sa Panginoon and all is well. Kahit mahirap, okay pa rin yan kasi ang Diyos ang kasama natin sa mga pagkakataong mahirap. So, the son's death was no surprise to God. Alam ng Panginoon, mamatay yan eh. But she knew that if she goes to God, hindi siya pababayaan ng Panginoon. It was a test of faith. Pag may problema, ano gagawin mo? Di ba? Solohin mo and everything. Hindi, you trust God. Ganito yun eh, either you trust God or you succumb to despair. Ay, wala na akong magagawa. Hindi, dito naman, trust God. Can I tell you, yung mga problema natin sa tahanan, paano ba natin lulutasin yung mga problema? Ay, napakadami. Hindi naman tayo equipped. Pero at least may Diyos tayo na marunong ang Diyos, mabuti ang Diyos, may pangako ang Diyos, and God is powerful. God can do anything under the sun. You know, kaya kayo mga nanay, kasi iba sa inyo, alam ko mga, alam ko mga kwento nyo, alam ko mga struggles nyo. Hindi madali. Simula pa ang bata ay isinilang, hanggang mapalaki, mapag-aral, mapagtapos, mapadala sa abroad, ilan yung anak na yan? Di ba? And sometimes, ito naman mga anak, tayong mga anak, hindi na-appreciate yung mga magulang. Ang alam lang ay, mami, pengi baon. Yan ang alam. Humingi ng baon. At humingi ng pambili ng kung ano-ano. Sana ma-appreciate natin mga nanay. Mga nanay, kung mabigat ang inyong pinapasan, dalhin mo sa Panginoon. Huwag kang susuko. Maring hindi ka tinutulungan ng asawa mo, maring mga anak mo ay problema mo, pero meron Diyos na makapangyarihan, and His help is ever present. Okay? It is well. With God, it is well. Type it, tumayong lahat. Let's all stand. Tumayo tayong lahat. Type it. Mananalangin. Let us pray. Father in heaven, we thank you for reminding us that there will be times when we will come to a situation where we can do nothing but to trust you. Sana, Panginoon, ay tulungan mo kami na magtiwala sa iyo. Hindi kami, Panginoon, sumuko. Because, Lord, we accomplish nothing by giving up and surrendering. But, Lord, you know our hearts. You know what we desire to happen. Alam mo po ang magagandang layunin ng aming puso para sa aming mga pamilya. Nandito ang mga nanay at sila po ay maraming pinapasan. Minsan, sila po ay solo na pumapasan. Wala silang kasamang asawa na nakauunawa sa kanila. At minsan naman ang kanilang mga anak ay kanilang kabigatan. And I pray, Panginoon, na tutulungan mo po ang mga nanay ngayong hapon na magtiwala sa iyo sa mga ganitong pagkakataon. And Lord, kung merong mga hindi pa nakakilala kay Kristo at naligtas, Panginoon, ikaw nga po ang magligtas ng mga aming mga loved ones so that bilang mananampalataya, kami po ay may tahanan sa langit na naghihintay. So, Panginoon, pagpalain mo po ang paanyaya ngayong hapon sa aming mga bisita muli, kung sila po ay hindi pa nakakilala kay Kristo, na sila po ay manampalataya kay Jesus bilang personal na tagapagligtas. At gumawa ka, Panginoon, sa aming mga puso at mga buhay. Ito po ang aming samadalangin sa pangalan ni Jesus. Abang lahat ay nakatuon nakapikit, if you'd like to come and pray, pray nyo ang inyong mga anak, ang inyong mga magulang, ang inyong mga asawa, ipag-pray nyo ang mga hindi pa naliligtas. Because you know what? Kahit mabigat ang ating sitwasyon, okay lang naman, basta ginawa na natin ang lahat at pinagtiwala natin sa Panginoon ang ating mga sarili. Di ba? Wala naman tayong magagawa. You cannot go on with your life na talagang hirap na hirap sa buhay kasi ikaw ay walang ibang gumagawa kundi ikaw. You know, you have the Lord. You bring your burdens to the Lord. And so you know, is it well? Of course. Because you have the Lord helping you. Kaya alam mo, Mountain, marami tayong kabigatan. Dali mo sa Panginoon, ipanalangin mo sa Panginoon, ilapit mo ang iyong mga problema sa Panginoon, and God can fix it for you. Maybe you cannot fix it, but God can, and you need to trust God. Siguro, Lord, ikaw nang bahala. And however the Lord leads you, magtiwala lang po tayo sa gagawin ng Panginoon sa ating tahanan. Kung di pa naligtas ang mga bata, pray for them. Kung di pa naligtas ang asawa, pray for them. Because God is gracious, God can do anything. God can save your loved ones if you trust the Lord. So ngayon po kung kayo hindi pa naligtas, magtiwala kayo sa Panginoon. Si Kristo ay namatay sa krus ng Kalbaryo upang magbigay sa atin ng daan patungo sa langit. At ang daan na yan ay sa magitan ng pananampalataya. Kung tatalikuran mo ang iyong kasalanan at kay Kristo, ikaw ay tatanggap bilang iyong tagapagligtas, makakamtan mo ang kanyang biyaya na kaligtasan. Habang lahat po ay nakatuwa nakapikit, patuloy po tayong manalangin.